with voice lately. I kind of swap between playing solo and don't really keep a mic in, and but when I do have posse members on, of course, that's when the audio comes up. Before I begin on Red Dead, I have made a return to BDO. I've decided I probably will periodically stream some content, but largely it'll just be ship combat clips, probably no sound, and likely life skill tutorials, stuff like that. But I am playing a lot more casually, so I can't guarantee when content will roll out, but it is coming soon for BDO and more for Red Dead, of course. Overall with Red Dead, as you can see, I've kind of circled the camp a couple times, but I've got pretty good progress here. I've only been playing a little over a month. I can actually check my streak. I played 2 days before, but didn't really get into it heavy. And I got the 4th streak once, so yeah. 41 days I've been playing, so yeah, about a month and a half now, total. But I've got a pretty good bit of stuff, a lot of in-game things. Let me go to my weapons locker. I can pull up the guns and everything. But yeah, needless to say, I've made a lot of gains and still having a ton of fun with the game. I will say there's a lot of content here. To go over the pros and cons, I might as well start with the cons because the list itself is relatively short, but the sub-list on one is definitely not. The only cons I've really had in terms of my opinion with Red Dead 2 overall has been largely glitches and typically just wrong place, wrong time, like open world events that might conflict with what I was doing at the time. But there's a few different things on the glitch side and that, but the glitch side's definitely more, as I've documented. But that's really it. Now, in terms of the actual scope of the glitches, it's pretty bad. But it largely has to do with wagons and just the game freezing or not loading in. Talking to members of the community that have played longer than I have, they said a lot of this started when the lobbies got bigger. I don't know how that works on PS5. I'm not sure. I'm not one of the lucky ones that was able to get a hold of one. But on PS4, there's definitely a lot of freezes. I even have someone in my posse on a PS4 Pro. Got external SSD, still freezes a lot. The wagon summoning is very spotty. A lot of random odds and ends glitches too. I don't know if it actually caught it, but I spawned in, didn't do anything, and my hostility went to medium for griefing, and I literally just spawned in my camp. So that was a bit odd too. But yeah, it doesn't fully take away from the game though, for sure. It's still very enjoyable, at least to me. And I guess that's a good cue to move into the pros. Now, the pros is, in my opinion, a very big variety of things to do. There's kind of something for everyone. While I've been talking, I've been doing things on the naturalist role. And as one player, you can take all the roles, although naturalist and trader kind of conflict with each other because you have to kill animal for trader. Naturalist doesn't want you to, you just take samples. But as you can see, I'm pretty high on the roles. I've maxed out all but one. But there is 5 roles: collector, trader, moonshiner, naturalist, bounty hunter. In my opinion, they're all fun in their own ways, but I definitely lean more towards trader, moonshiner, and bounty hunter just because of the profit margins there. And collector, I can kind of just do passively and find the collectibles as I just travel around and do the other things. That's actually how I maxed it out. Not to mention a lot of the freeform stuff to do on here, picking herbs just to craft with. There's different stranger missions. There's actually a story, which is kind of rare for online versions of games such as this. But even the online Red Dead has a story. It's not a bad one. I particularly like the Moonshiner story. Although it is very challenging, it is rewarding in my opinion. And I don't know, just the variety is really good to me. The fishing is a great mechanic. I have mine set to not be the actual twirling the right stick, but I just hold square to reel in. But I still find it has better fishing mechanics than a lot of games out there that I've seen that incorporate that. But the hunting is also quite fun, but there's just such a wealth of things to do. It's actually why I stay in it. I have a lot of in-game things, good ability cards, loadouts, a lot of rank 3 cards. I don't quite have the 16 for, the belt buckle yet, but I'm getting there. But yeah, there's just a wealth of things to do on here. They're actually talking about releasing another role soon and expanding on Trader, taking that one to 30. They add a lot of strangers, different types of missions, telegrams were just added. So there's always new things coming in to keep players engaged, and I really appreciate that about Red Dead. It can get a little repetitive with the trade runs and some of the money making ways, but to be honest, it's so different each time that I still have fun running them. You always wonder, are you going to get hit with PvP in the middle of a trade run and just sniped and then be fighting to get your goods there, or is it just going to be a boring run or swarmed by NPCs? It always seems a little different each time based on who you share a session with and things like that. But it's just a fun time to me. I love the different ammo types. The crafting system is great. It really is like an MMORPG in a way with guns, so that really appeals to me, that and the survival aspects. But I enjoy the game a lot. If you're watching, I do typically, I do have a tendency... There's one of the random things there. That was definitely random. We both tried to avoid each other, but that didn't work so well. I think they respawned. Oh well. That's when it gets kind of funny, but at the same time I feel bad. Probably should have revived their horse, but for brevity's sake I'm just going back. But yeah, overall that's just my thoughts on Red Dead. As I stated, I enjoy it. I do have a tendency to send posse invites and Moonshine Shack invites to randoms. I typically do it to lower level people to try to help them with their money and things like that. But if you're watching now and you do play Red Dead, I'm definitely open to play with new people, myself and the typical posse members. We actually have a good bit of fun in groups. we do everything from just hang out at camp to chilling in the moonshine shack, having slap fights and things like that. But even with trade runs and things like that, it's all about the journey, I guess, the in-between. I guess I can leave off coming to the Shine Shack, because that is where the posse has most of the fun. There's definitely a lot of good RP opportunities and moments to just blow off steam. Here's the collector I had talked about earlier. And put that away, and those are usually worth about $10 a piece, so not bad money for one little pickup. They do pretty well. But yeah, there's just so many things to kill time with and just have fun until your next big money making or whatever you're focusing on. And a lot of ways to grow, plenty of outfits to buy and cosmetics, along with the Outlaw Pass. I'll show mine. I've actually maxed it out. It isn't that hard, but it gives a lot of good rewards. That was the gun belt and the holster, but oh yeah, you can do posse photos. There's actually photography in-game. You get a camera yourself, a portable one. There's a photo studio for posse photos. Different emotes to earn and buy. I'm actually really hoping they come back with the Gothic Moonshine Bar, because that would be lovely in my opinion. Right now I'm running the Refined, and it looks pretty nice. I also like the hunting. I don't have the floral yet, so I can't really show that one, but if you do unlock Moonshine and run a posse, it does unlock a cool spot for your posse to kind of hang out in and chill with each other. Some of the drunken interactions are pretty funny, though it is random. I do kind of wish there was a way you could control what action is, but I get it with the random, and in a way that's kind of the fun in it, because it is just silly stuff. But
Hey, so what are we talking about here?
yeah, I genuinely just enjoy the game a lot. I recommend it for anyone that's into survival games, Western setting, MMORPGs. Maybe there's not enough action in a lot of them, and you still want the crafting and gathering. Red Dead's definitely a good place to go. And as I said, the wealth of things to do, there's always something to do on Red Dead, in my opinion. Even if you're just running bounties to get gold to make your guns look even better, or whatever you're going for at the time, there's always a way to improve, either cosmetically or with performance. But I enjoy games like that, the challenging yet approachable. That's kind of my style of gaming, so this kind of definitely hits that niche with me. I think I'm going to wrap it up here. That's pretty much just a good summarized thoughts of Red Dead as a whole. I may possibly do different guides for the roles and things like that. I'm not 100% sure. I'm kind of actually new to the Red Dead community, so I don't know what niche streamers are out there. I guess I gotta do my research there. But either way, I'll be delivering content no matter how good or shitty it may be in the future. We'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. That's pretty much just my basic thoughts on Red Dead overall, and comments on whether or not I'll stream BDO again. As usual, I'm not a constant scheduled streamer. I'm very dependent on the game's performance and or situations. to really make stuff that I see as worthy of putting up on YouTube and isn't just filler stuff. Besides the bug reports, I'm really just hoping devs see those and check emails and links, etc. But yeah, thanks for bearing with me, everyone, and until next time, hopefully I can catch you in the game world and we can hang out, make some memories, have some fun. Later, everyone.